Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Germany. Of course, good evening, Philippines. We are live now here on TalkAlley. And of course, today we're going to talk about modern love. But before I get into the topic, of course, what have I been doing the rest of the week? Well, chill because Germany right now in Hessen, it's summer vacation and the kids, everyone's at home, everyone is doing a lot of things in the community. They're doing sports, they're meeting their friends, and so we've been busy around the house. And of course, in back home, the FAMAS Awards was yesterday, I think, or last night. I want to congratulate all the winners, especially the director and producer of Katips. It's a movie about martial law, and they did a great job and actually won seven FAMAS awards. So congratulations! Yay! I recommend that everyone should watch that movie. So, and of course, this show today is brought to us by Amazing Pure Organic Barley.
I am Maritoni Fernandez, and we are in the middle of a barley field here in Swan Hill, Australia.
Well, we think we have the best barley in the world because of our clean irrigation water. Water comes from the Murray River, which is a freshwater river. All our drinking water comes from the Murray River too. So it's full of nutrients, and also the climate is perfect for growing winter cereals. Clean, green, certified organic.
Yeah, we're certified with NASA, which is one of the Australian certifications for organic. IAM Worldwide gets its barley grass powders from Herbal, which sources them from us at Nutrigreen, so you're guaranteed the best barley grass powders in the world.
I am truly proud to say that we are now the sole distributor in the Philippines for Nutrigreen barley.
Great. So Amazing Pure Organic Barley. For more information, please contact Miss Jess Esquilio at jessesquilio.de for more information. Okay, so now I'm going to be joined by today we're going to talk about modern love. What is modern love? We're going to understand what they mean when they say modern love with, of course, two of my good friends. The first one that I'm going to introduce is coming from Germany as well. She hails in Bonn and she is a content creator. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Sarah Jane Ramos. Hi, Sarah. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, you're on mute. Okay. Hi. Hello. How's the weather in Bonn?
Well, it's a bit cloudy, but still hot. We're grabe. Can you hear me?
A bit because music I think is overpowering. So I can't hear you so much. We're trying to lower it a bit down so we can hear you clearer, a bit clearer, of course. And Sarah, we were talking about the weather. How's the weather out there?
It's cloudy, but still hot. So
Hot,
normally,
like you. We don't forget that, Sarah, of course.
yeah.
And we're going to be joined all the way from the Philippines. Hello, Jubail, writer, singer, composer, all the way from the Philippines, Miss Jubail and Dong.
Hi. My God, the adjectives, no. And the
Claim
hi,
it. My
hello, good
gosh.
evening
No,
from
but
the Philippines.
seriously. Yeah. But seriously, she is indeed a very good singer. I am very proud of her, of course. And as I've mentioned, guys, we're going to talk about modern love. Um, what is modern love to you, of course, and how do we understand it? Well, Our desire to understand love is obvious when you consider the numerous books, articles, and talk shows that we've been watching. Talk shows dedicated to the topic love, modern love. People around the world deem love as essential to happiness and look for it in many different places. They look for it on televisions and movies. So, what do you understand? How do you define love anyway? Let's start with Sarah.
With me.
Oh, bakit? Why not? You.
Well, for me, love is caring for others, and also, I think from me, because of my background, I have a like very deep faith, and yung love ko kay God is like yun talaga nakukuha ko sa learnings and how to project it to other people. And yun nga, just share your deep care for others, and either it's through action, through thinking about them, and yun ang love for me.
Okay. How about you, Jubail? What is love? What is love?
Love is taboo for me. Joke.
Oh,
It's my first time here, so
hi,
not
welcome.
singing. Yes, thank you
Okay.
for like having me. Not singing, but like being asked to of certain questions. And okay, my take on love. Love
Mhm.
is love for me. I think I it's not contained. It's not. I do have a varied definition of it depending on what kind of love are you asking, because I believe that that is varied, and I believe
Mhm.
that we have different kinds of love naman kasi, di ba? We have
Exactly.
types of love. We have other kinds of love.
Mhm.
Right now, we do
Mhm.
have lots of names for love.
Pero
Um,
generally, what is love for you?
I think I don't have a generic one for that, but love for me is love. In its really realist meaning. To me, it's very wide and broad, and yung
Mhm.
limitations niya deep dun. But I'd say it's free. Love is free. Love
Ooh.
is it knows no bound in whatever aspect you're going to like take it. Uh, ano pa? Love is
Okay.
consistent. 'Di ba? The common love that we know, it's intense feeling for something or someone, 'di ba? We had different kinds of for it could be like a love for a pet, love for a partner,
Mhm.
love for your intimate love for your partner, or love for your for parents, love for a hobby, love for music, for aesthetics, or in all sort. So it's varied for me.
Yeah. Ako personally, this was a recurring question talaga. Growing up, I would always,
Aesthetic.
encounter it, di ba? Sa mga autograph natin growing up, we would always find it in the books. Like, what is love? They make you define love all the time. So, siguro, growing up, I realized, love is something that comforts us. Ako, sa akin personally, and one of the love that comforts me when at this age na, before my mom passed away, was just a phone call from her. I would define that simply as love. She's not the common, mother na who would hug and kiss you or give you butterfly kisses all the time. She's not the type. But a phone call for her is for me already defined as her ways of showing love. So, growing up as a teenager, the word love was used so soon in a relationship that it became inadequate expression when the relationship deepened. At this stage, it's easy to confuse lust and love.
Mm.
So, there's also sa atin growing up, we had to have a definition because we get confused between lust and love. So there should always be a distinction.
Are you referring to the love that's actually love towards like intimate partner?
Exactly.
Yeah, because like
I mentioned during when we were teenagers, we were
yes.
used to knowing love in a relationship between two persons. two human beings. So we had that idea growing up that it's between two, male and female. But now that we're going to talk about modern love and the essence of it, so what do we really understand? Now there's so many types of modern love now that we see. Love love for yourself. I think that's also modern love.
Yes, I was about to
Exactly.
say. Mhm.
Right, Jubail? How
Yes, like super yes.
how is it? How do
And
you
it took
relate?
me a while to love myself actually. So,
Yeah.
oh, it's a different kind of becoming. It's love for self. It takes years. It takes time for you to like see that. To it would take experience also to to bring you to that state. And because actually before I never knew, because I never like siguro I'd say scarce yung love ko for myself. Like I love other stuff more than others. Than myself. So we have different kinds of love for pets, right? For parents, for I regarded love before towards like a partner like so much. I gave, if you have a pie, mas damo, there's like so much for that and like less for myself. But right now, yeah, I think we're evolving. Love is love. Love is as love. Love is, I'd say, it doesn't change. I think okay. I think it's still like as it was in the ancient time. I think hindi siya nag-change, diba? Love before and now is the same. It's just how we, it's just the thinking, I think, towards like the love change us by us. Yeah, how we regard love.
Yeah.
And yeah, so for self-love, it it actually like came. It's not like a one night thing. Yeah, it took me a while. So you would be brought to a certain time na talagang you would have this turning point to see yourself. Ah, that's it. I need to like do this. And, there would be circumstances, there would be situations that would make you see yourself. That's it.
Okay. How about you, Sarah? You're living a single life.
Yes.
Does this apply to you more? Because like back home in the Philippines, no, very, how do we say it? Generally for them, kasi women has a definite purpose in the society. But now a lot more women chose to like not have marry but not have a child, or live alone and have a child. So single life pa rin. But there are factors. There's still love in it, but it's just that it's not the normal definition of love. So love for oneself, Sarah. How does that apply to you?
Yes. Actually, that's one of the biggest topic that I encountered a few years ago. Kasi nga, I grew up still with the Filipino background, and to taking care of others more than yourself, or yun nga, mas gusto mo at mas pinipili mo mag-alaga sa ibang tao, magmahal ng ibang tao o sa sarili mo. And as Ate said, that it takes really time to realize na before you really start loving others, especially going into a relationship, you have to love yourself more. You get to know yourself more. And self-love has different aspects for me. Hindi lang yung parang one way, of course, the mindset itself. You have to realize to take care of yourself with the mind and the decision to do that, and then also what makes you happy as an individual.
Oh, I think
I'd agree.
self-love is more common here in Germany, yeah, because there are a lot more single people here as compared to, we lack na nga in population, right? Like
Yes.
a few
And
years back, we were hoping to increase the population here in Germany because a lot more young men and women prefer to stay single. Exactly. But in the Philippines, it's still the same, like, right, Jubail? It's
yeah,
hard to
I'd like to
already.
add also,
Yeah,
you
okay.
mentioned about like love for yourself, no?
Mhm.
I'd say to add, no, and enhancing yourself, it starts
Mhm.
actually with the mindset. And I believe it's true. Because once you have that mindset to enhance yourself, everything follows when it's right. So you have to love yourself, because we can never give love to others if you're, if you're lacking of it, di ba? Paano ka naman mag-give if you're like, missing something sa self mo? So it should be like, it should be filled first. So how could you do that? You have to like know yourself. And how would you know yourself? You have to explore. And I've never like done that like in a while. So it's just during the actually even before the pandemic, I've been like into into searching mode, into like you know into brooding and deep thinking about self and all that. So yeah, um, I love peace. So I think if there's one thing ma-add ko pala sa akin definition ko ng love is peace. When you have that peace in your heart, in your mind, then you have that love.
True.
Kasi there are love naman na violent eh. Di ba? From the
Uh-huh.
experiences, I think everyone has this siguro share of experience na ganun. But when there's peace, I think for me, love is peace. Love is
So generally,
coming
I
into
think,
that
yeah.
sort of solitude, you
Mm.
know, and conscious self mo, that you would say that's love. Yeah. If it sa self mo and towards others, I think it always starts with yourself before you could sa others, share sa others, yun.
Okay. So generally, if we say modern love, it's the love that we're not used to
Yes.
seeing or knowing. It's a love that is not normal to the society. What example can you give us, like Sarah?
Yeah, I was actually wanted to add to Ate Jobel that modern love nowadays, or self-love nowadays, is like something that is trending, especially in social media, that everybody is like coached to share, to take care of yourself more, and everyone wants to give their opinion about it. And most of the time that I realize, or that I see in a lot of people, not just myself but also in surrounding people, is they're like looking and searching for something. And if there's like people who search, there are like people who can give advice to it, and there's like a lot of people who can give advice, and then yun lang, you have to look what is best for yourself, what is like nakakapag-apply sa sarili mong buhay, sa sarili mong personalidad. Yun, yun
Can you
actually.
True, true.
consider ano din, LDR relationships a modern love? Although it's been, in the Philippines, they got used to it because there's so many OFWs. But I think it's also, you can consider that also as modern love, right?
I I think
Jubil.
so. I
Yeah.
think so, because right now it works because of the technology that we have, but before siguro hindi. Um, it's modern because a lot of things that we could do sa time natin ngayon, that we could show our love. Hindi kahit malayo. We could like example lang na I thought na may cute akong i-share na sa modern sa modern type of
Cute.
love right now. I consider it modern because before wala naman ito sa panahon natin
Hmm.
yung ngayon sa
Panahon niya
kabataan
lang
ngayon.
po. Panahon niya lang. I'm just kidding.
Okay. I'm not so old naman. No, but
Okay.
before, yung sa LDR, di ba, telephone, because I've seen that from my mom and dad. OFW ang father ko for a long time, for like more than 20 years. And so, pag nagsasend si Papa ng letter, he would send a very long letter with, yellow pad pa yan, back to back, like 20 pages. And we would really make basa. And then, may nakalakip pa dyan, included yung tape recorder. Tape. And then we would, replay it. Tapos, we would play it again and again and again. Just to, ganyan, yun yung before. So, wala kasing, technology was scarce before. Hindi katulad ngayon na you could just, wala. You have a very good cell phone, then you could see your partner sa screen na. Kulang na lang pupunta ka doon, but of course hindi pa yan hindi pa yan na discover. But yeah, cell phones, you could hear right away your loved one, or you could send via Food Panda, Maxim, and all that crap, food to your loved one. Alam mo yun, gusto mong the same kayo ng food, okay, bibili ako ng ganito, I'll cook this, and then I'll send you via Food Panda like this. And all those sort. So it's modern for me, and it's cute. It's, yeah. Unlike before, hindi ganon. So, sa context ng love towards partner. Mm-hmm.
How about you, Sarah? I think you also have LDR because you have siblings back home, right, in the Philippines.
Yeah, actually, habang nagsasalit si Jubel, ang raming like thoughts ang pumapasok sa isip ko. For me, especially my relationship with my siblings, since they live in the Philippines, I find it super hard, actually. Sometimes sabi nila, why you're not interacting that much with your siblings, or are you like sometimes kaya ko every day like to talk to them, but sometimes feel ko I have to like step back a little, kasi for me, I'm a very physical person. Yung type of love for me is like I have to have them like next to me, yung parang ganon. Especially like physical touch. I'm a hugger. So, yung parang ang layo-layo nila, and I can't be with them like physically. So sometimes what I do is to go like backwards and step back. Kasi it comes to a point for me that I miss them so much that it hurts. Yung parang ganong klase. And buti naman, mapasensya yung mga kapatid ko sa akin, and I explained to them that ganun nga, that I have to focus more on work, yung life ko dito, but I still think about them, and they know naman if there's like challenges, or they want to share something, they need something, nandito lang ako para gawin.
Would you also, like for a romantic relationship, would you consider that as well, LDR relationship? Jubail, you are already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been like in the LDR relationship for so long. May iniingatan akong puso. Just it works for me because for one, siguro it's varied naman eh. Varied naman yung ano. Kasi nga for me as an introvert, INFJ kasi ako. So I do really love my peace and my alone time and my boundary. And I think this time, yung modern type of love welcomes that. And like before, the traditional, intimate relationship, hindi maintindihan yun before, I think. Diba? Yung space, that there's a need for individuality for two people. That you are, of course, you do love each other, but you're an individual, you have your likes, you have your space, and I do have mine, and stuff like that. And I think people right now are aware, oriented, and thus the current generation is very welcoming of this type of relationship. Yeah, so that's it. Love naman actually doesn't change. It's just really, as I said, no, it's still like as it was in the ancient time in 1800 and 1700. It's still the same. It's just right now we do have this sort of daming tayong names for love. Dami tayong terminologies. Dami, the very reason that we do have lots of gurus right now. Love gurus, no?
Yeah.
So it's just the thinking towards the love that changed, that changed by us.
How about you, Sarah?
The love changed by us.
Would you consider it as well? Having a long distance relationship?
But I'm not saying, wait, sorry. But I'm not saying na hindi talaga, not at all, like, I just want to explain a little bit, sorry, Sarah, a little bit of the INFJ side. Yung introvert kasi, it's not all the time that we're like caving in. It's not justifying like, it's just really like that. When I found out and I learned that I'm an INFJ via a test you know.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos via other groups, because I searched for it, like people like me, I understood myself more, and so thus mas nakakaano ako ng love sa others kasi na-explain ko with my partner that this is how I really is, and so aware yung partner ko with myself and with my traits and all that. I think nakaka-help din yun. But I'm not saying na wala talagang attachment or something. Of course, you need to see valuable yung makita mo yung loved ones mo at saka mahug mo. I'm also a hugger. So there are times na I hug a lot. Like, meron akong moment na ganun. And then, meron din akong moment I shut down and just, a step back from the world. I like world off and then ganun. So hindi ako maintindihan. That's why I was regarded as suplada, as maldita, or ganyan. Out of this world. But, yeah.
How about you, Sarah? Would you consider
Sorry.
to be in a, because Sarah, you grew up here in Germany,
Yes.
and but you have already an idea of LDR because it's very common in the Philippines. But would you also be romantically? Would you consider that as well?
I think it depends. I'm at the position right now, or with the mindset that I have, is open-minded naman ako sa ganung klaseng relationship. But
Okay.
I think important talaga yung you're on the same level and the communication
Yes.
is like pretty on point.
Mhm.
That you have the understanding na you're on the same page when it comes to yun nga, to like take care of the relationship. And
Mhm.
also
And
yun nga. Uh,
it's okay. Tagalogin mo, Sarah.
One point, and the second point I wanted to share is actually long distance relationship should never be long term for me. It's a season of life, and that you can have for a specific time in your life, but it should never be a long term. It should like have like seasons. Kahit yung like for a year, your husband, yun ang nakikita ko sa pinsan ko eh. Yung husband niya is on the ship for a year, but he comes back and stays there for 6 weeks to sometimes half a year to spend like quality time with his family and his wife, and like ano yung relationship nila. But what I've seen from her side also is their communication is like on point, yung hindi sila nakakapag they don't have that much of misunderstandings.
Mhm.
The husband is always like updated about the children, updated about his wife's like emotional state, also how she feels. Kasi I know it's important also for her kasi mahirap maging nanay.
Mhm.
Your husband is away, or even the wife's side is the same. So,
Yeah, but you would consider it if
I-
there's a chance as well.
I'm open-minded about it. Well,
Yeah.
before I would say no, but as of right now, okay na ako. Kasi super like conservative ako before.
Before?
I used to be.
Before? At one point, no? Virgin, ganon.
Kasi romantic, parang yung ano ko, yung expectations ko in terms of relationship is like
Yeah.
you have to be like next to each other. But when you learn to love yourself more, and when you learn to
Yes.
have your own life in a relationship, it's like mas maganda kaya yun. Kaya
Mm.
you can do both. Do long
It's
distance,
very significant.
long distance relationship, live your life, but still you have your relationship with somebody who can be your, like, I call it soulmate.
Ako, I can relate to LDR. Majority of my friends are LDR. It's the best type of friendship, actually. See, Mike, I would always wonder, like, I would talk to Jessica or you, Sarah, Leiden, and Jubil or Sheena, my friends back home. It's always online. I'm always like multitasking when I'm doing my work, my chores here. I would be always online with my friends. So like 24/7, daily talaga. I make it a point to have a balance. And because siguro I value it more because of the distance and the time. So I value people who are really far away from me. Parang it's a lesson na rin eh. Parang when my mom passed, I felt that I didn't put in much enough effort and time that I'm now compensating it with the friends that I have right now. That I'm making more time. I'm making, all the everything that I need to do that I haven't done before. I'm trying to reach out more. So yeah, I think that's my LDR because they're my new modern love now. My family that is in my circle, my inner circle. So that's what I do now. That's my long distance relationship, and it works. It doesn't have to. You don't have to be together every day. I think, but when you do meet, the love is really there. It's strong because I think in all types, you really need to communicate to each and every one. Parang importante talaga yung communication with the person that you value. Whether or not they're just next to you or they're 1,000 miles away, it's important talaga. Kasi even if we're like sitting next to each other but we don't talk to each other naman, so what's that, right? Parang we
True,
just stare
true.
at each other and just
Dapat
watch.
may connection. Yung sinasabi.
Exactly.
Kaya nga, they say there's like, may connect, may magic, may ganon.
Mm.
Char.
Tama. Char, char ba?
At
So,
when you're like
oo.
next to each other with your loved ones, for me okay na rin yun sa akin. For me, mas gusto ko nga yun yung nakasama ko yung mahal ko sa buhay na we're in the same room, we're in the living room, we're in the kitchen. Everybody's like doing their own business, but yung feeling mo nandyan yung taong mahal mo.
But there should be time with...
Enough. Yeah, and also naman, also like there's time, for example, for me, I value like dinner time so much. Kasi when I was younger, medyo hindi siya common in my everyday life kasi my mom worked so much when I was younger. So yung dinner time was like, not normal in my family life. So now, since, yun nga, when I have time and I cook, and yung pag-dinner namin at nagkukwentuhan, ang sarap kaya nun. So yun.
So, well, another modern love is the love between. How about age difference? It's also modern love, right? The normal, what's in the norm is that the guy should be older than the girl, or they are the same
The
age.
tradition.
How about the traditional? Yeah, the traditional. You're right, Jubel. So, how about the traditional? How about not the traditional, where the girl is older, or well, that's basically it. Normally, pag sa age talaga, pag girl is older, parang would you consider like being with someone younger than you, Sarah?
I actually...
10 years younger.
How many years? 10 years?
10 years younger.
Well, I'm the youngest from this group.
Yeah.
So,
Would you consider that at one point, let's say, 8 to 10 years younger? Kasi go tayo sa extreme. Usually, I think modern love is the extremes of the traditional eh. So let's go to the extreme. How about 10 years younger than you?
when I'm 40, I would say yes. But at my age, grabe, in the beginning of
Bakit ka nagtatakot ng mga ni Jubel?
Nothing.
The choice of age talaga ni Sarah. When I'm 40, maybe, oo. Mas Jubel, aray ko. So, Sarah, would you consider like 10 years younger?
in experience, hindi pa sila, you're still not in the same mindset. In my 20s, I was like exploring a lot about like life, exploring about what I want, yung career-wise as personal-wise. So, ganun din sa mga lalaki. And I know that for a fact that like guys are like mentally younger than they are like biologically. So mahirap for I've seen naman good relationship. My friend, yung one of my best friend, yung in the beginning I judged her. Kasi yung naging boyfriend niya was I think 3 or 4 years younger than us.
Mhm.
I was like, girl, you're like your mindset is already very, very mature. And then you have a boyfriend who is like 4 years younger than you. But at the end of the day, they made it. At the end of the day, of course, they had like their ups and downs. They had also their breakups where the guy said, "Oh, ayaw ko," for no specific reason. And then they broke up, but she had like the confidence about herself to go move on. But the guy came back. So ayun. So kasi she's like mature enough to see what's her value and to see what's the value from her perspective in this kind of relationship. So he came back because he's seen kung anong maganda mangyayari sa buhay nila. And he's like, fiance? So they're engaged now. So actually, it can work.
Case to case. Yeah.
10
It's a
years.
case-to-case risk. It's like
It
Ricky
is.
Bello and Hayden Co. There's just so many. Vilma Santos and Ralph Recto. It's like
Vic
more than
Soto.
10 years. Vic Soto. And yeah, it's also modern love, no? When the guy is extremely like older, like half her age, or maybe the girl is 25 and the guy is 70, which is very typical naman din for most Filipinos living abroad. I think I've met a lot, more than a lot, a lot talaga, where their husbands are way, way older
Older.
than them. But it works,
Kaya nga,
right?
okay ako doon. When the guy is older than me, I
Oh. So, kahit extreme, like 30 years older or 40 years older.
Basta older.
Extreme. Sana you cannot choose because this situation, we're giving you extreme talaga. We're talking about modern love and we're talking about non-traditional kind of love. So, it cannot be like 20 years older kasi parang not so extreme. So, it has to be 30 to 40 years older. Would you consider that?
if ma-in-love ka, wala ka magagawa.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, but what do you think would, stop you from being in that relationship? Ano yung mga factors you think? Not offending our viewers who are in that kind of relationship, but what factors would you think would stop you to be in that kind of relationship? Ikaw, Jubail.
First, like, which one should I answer? Which question should I answer? This question or the
Choose
previous
ka
one?
between a younger guy and an older woman and a younger guy, or older guy and very young woman?
Actually, well, I don't have. I'm not against anything because ako nga, I believe that love is free.
Okay,
diba?
fine. It's
So-
not being against. We're putting ourselves in those
Right.
modern love
But
situations.
for me,
Ikaw kaya, personally.
my preference, I would want an older guy, like she said. Because
like 30
same-
years older, ganun.
Yes, because I
Oo.
also believe that, yun nga, sabi niya, yung psychological age ng mga, I don't want to marry a boy. I want to marry a man. Kasi, di ba, usually, late kasi sila nagbo-bloom. So, yung psychological at mental age nila talaga late din. So, basta yun. So, I prefer older men than than younger because or the same age. It matters na kasi yung same mentality nyo kasi yun doon na yun. Pero again, but
Okay.
as she said, you can't say, 'di ba? Love is love. You even if it's against your will minsan eh. 'Di ba? You don't know. You won't know. And I think yun. Hindi mo naman mapipili kung sino yung love ng puso mo. Yeah. Char! Walang love track!
Yeah, we understand already that. We understand that love is love and we cannot stop love. But we're just discussing
But we do,
types of different modern
Yeah.
love. So
we do have preferences lang, I think. Yeah. But of
exactly.
course, Oo.
Oo.
Yun,
So
may
you
mga
prefer like older man, like 30 years older.
yes.
How about and Sarah also, no? Ako
Yeah.
naman personally, I'm in the opposite situation. So the guy is younger. And now, before I further discuss, there's someone here who wants to join our chikahan. Hello, TLC
Hi.
correspondent Miss Jessica Duan.
Hello, Miss Jessica.
Hi.
Finally.
Hello.
Good evening.
I think
Ay,
Mary
talaga.
Jess,
Hi.
how was your
Good
trip
afternoon, everyone.
in
Hello
Switzerland?
po.
Good evening, Miss Jessica.
Finally, naka-join din, di ba?
Oo nga. So, how was your vacay?
Hello po. Good evening, Miss Jessica.
Finally, naka-join din, di ba?
Kamusta naman ang bakasyon mo?
Yes.
How was your vacay?
Oh, Diyos ko naman, para namang napakatagal na bakasyon yan.
Kamusta na din? Grabe naman. Buti ka naman, nagbakasyon ka. Sana
Hindi
all.
naman. Oh, Diyos ko naman, para namang napakatagal na bakasyon yan.
So, we are talking about modern love and the different types of love, Miss Jessica.
Pero alam mo,
yes.
ang ganda doon ha, balikan natin yon.
Asan doon? Ang dami na namin pinag-usapan. Pero moving on, because you're here, we're gonna talk about different types. I think ang most relatable si Miss Jessica is love between two race. Kasi she is married to a German. So, I think it works for her. It's also modern love, right? The traditional one is you marry the same race, like Filipino to Filipino, German to German. So, how about you, Miss Jessica? What did you consider when you got married to a foreigner? German to German. So, how about you, Miss Jessica? What did you consider? Miss Jessica, ikaw na po.
Wala.
Wala. You didn't consider anything. What did you consider, Miss Jessica? Medyo delay tayo kay Miss Jess.
Kasi late yung
may
late
latency
dating nung sound.
problem.
We understand. We can hear it.
Wala talaga. Kasi,
Medyo delay tayo kay Miss Jess.
oo.
We understand. We can hear it.
O sige. Ito, papatay ko muna yung ibang ibang wifi.
Patayin mo muna yung ibang gadget mo kasi nade-delay
Para
ka.
para maayos ang
Okay.
natin.
So,
Wait.
okay, while
Okay.
Miss Jessica
What did
is
I
doing her
consider?
tech, how
Ang
about you,
tanong mo?
Sarah? You had that in your
ibang
family
sound.
also. Your mom used to be married to a German, right?
Yes.
Walang
So
sound.
did you also consider that,
I can't
like
hear you.
marrying
Wait.
someone from a
Para-
different race, or would you prefer to still marry a Filipino?
Hindi pa rin.
Here in Germany, it was never like for me like a choice kasi I was like also especially in my younger years attracted to like German international people and yun nga. And my parents like gave me the opportunity to see how to be in a relationship with different races and different mentalities. And I think for me as myself, I'm actually grateful to see two different kind of cultures, to grow up in different kind of cultures, and to also adapt different kind of skills from my parents. Kasi my mom's like the typical Filipina and super hardworking, super yung pagkatulungin, yung walang yun lagi yung tumatak sa akin bilang in my younger years. Whereas my German dad was more on like career wise, yung pagka niya mag-aral ka na up to university, different degrees, and in the combination of that was like super helpful for me, and I was able to bloom into some person that I am today. Yes.
You know, as actually, Germans have qualities that are so Filipino also, right? That's why it's not so hard to adapt. For one, they're family oriented. But do you think is it extreme or is just like Filipino type lang of family orientation?
Well, can I add that? Kasi nandiyan
Yeah,
ako.
yes, please.
For me, I already had my conversation with my mom before about that. Ang it's they're family oriented, especially like people from the before war years. Like they have like big families, but now like the past 30 to 20 years,
Mm.
I have to say that it lowered. And
Ah.
Germany, it's like we're in the Philippines. That's what I miss actually. In the Philippines, that you live in one house with three different generations with your grandma, your siblings, your mother and father, and that's a way that I loved growing up, to be in an environment full of like individuals with different age gaps and different perspective about life, where you can learn from each and everyone. Whereas here in Germany, a lot of times it depends. Most of people, like here, you grow up until the age of 18, and then most of the time, like your parents like throw you out into the world and do whatever you want because you're already of age, and then you have
Mm.
to live your life the way you want it, or you can live your life the way you want it. And sa akin nawawala yung guidance from the parents when you're past 18. And a lot of
Okay.
like
So how
also
about si Miss Jessica naman? Because she wasn't able to answer earlier.
Yeah.
Miss Jess, what do you think should other Filipinos consider when marrying a foreigner? Because this is modern love. Filipina marrying a foreigner is a kind of modern love because it's not traditional. So what should they consider? Like your top three?
Kasi wala naman dapat i-consider, eh, 'di ba? 'Yun ang sabi ko kanina, wala naman talagang dapat. Kasi kung saan ka na in love, 'yun na 'yun. Kailangan mo rin talaga na ano na, risk talaga 'yun kasi iba yung cultures niyo pareho, 'di ba?
So
Um,
culture is also something they should consider. They should be
hmm,
aware of each other's culture. Do you
hindi
think?
rin, eh, kasi, magiging aware ka lang 'pag magkasama na kayo, eh. Hindi ka naman magiging aware ng sa nagsisimula kayo, hindi 'yan. Halimbawa mag-asawa na kayo, magkasama na kayo sa bahay, diyan pa lang makikita mo kung ano yung differences niyong dalawa.
But
Lalo na may cultural
do you
differences.
think understanding, like for example, when we integrate here in Germany,
Mhm.
they try to teach us and make us understand to integrate well. Would you think that it's better if you understand before
Language.
before living together so that hindi naman matindi yung culture shock ng ibang Pilipina?
Depende siguro kung ilang taon ka.
Hmm.
Kasi kung bata ka pa,
Yes.
madali na yung ano, madali nang mag-adjust kasi bata ka pa
Mhm.
nga. Pero 'pag siguro at the age of 30, 40, mga ganyan, yun kailangan mo na talagang malaman kung ano yung culture ng ano, nung, ay yung bansang pupuntahan mo.
Yeah.
Mas maiging gano'n.
Yeah. How
Pero
about
kasi
you, Jubil?
ha?
Would you, si Jubil naman, would you consider, has it ever crossed your mind? Like, for example, you met a foreigner. Would
Yeah.
you consider Jubil to be with that person as well?
Depende sa
Yes.
kanya, 'di ba?
Teka, I'm asking her.
Yeah, you're asking me, right?
Ikaw, Jubil, has it ever crossed your
Ba't
mind to
ako?
be with a
Bakit ako?
foreigner? Kasi we're talking about modern love. Si Sarah, she has seen that, experienced it through her father. And Jessica naman, she's married to one. How about you?
I've seen lots of relationships kasi when I used to like work I mean like abroad no I do have friends who were married to like foreigners, and I was even like courted by few foreigners before, so
Nung single pa to si
almost
Jubela.
wow.
almost kasi ano paano sasabihin, I think because I'm kind of liberated, I think I could adjust really like well in ano with many things, and yun
Oh, I think
very
most
open ako
Filipina,
very
yeah.
open ako when it comes to like relationships na kagaya ni ni Sarah.
I love also like having both worlds, the best of both worlds, like
Mm.
itong ano na to, country na to, and you're very old. Yung ganun.
I think generally most Filipinos are more liberal than men back home, right? Parang kasi when they are matched with foreigners, talaga it works out. Right? It doesn't, mas maraming annulled Filipina who then marry foreigners and it works out for them, yung mga relationship nila. Generally, Jubel is
But-
frowning. What do you think?
But I used to be very, very, hindi ako masyado liberated before.
Used to be na.
Yes.
Tapos nag-evolve ka na. Naging Pokemon ka.
I evolved. Naging Pokemon ako when I actually left Philippines for like 10 years. So when I lived abroad, I was open to a lot of things. So yeah. So I've
What
seen.
type of Pokemon are you now? Water ba? Fire? Wood? Plant?
I'm like all combined, just yun ganun.
Cross
So
ba? Ganon. So, question naman to, yung matindiyang, yung dibdibang question naman.
why me?
What's one thing about love that scares you? Jessica,
Oh,
Out.
ito, sa mga adult point of view, anong mga scared, nasi-scare ka pa ba? May kinakatakutan ka pa when it comes to love? Wala na.
yung bigla kang yung bigla na lang sabihin sa'yo na hindi ka na gusto.
Ouch! Grabe.
Marami kong kilala dyan na bigla na lang sabihin nila, no, halimbawa gabi darating yung wife o kaya yung husband na sasabihin, hindi na kita gusto. Yung ganun. Di ba?
Wow.
Mas hirap yun.
Parang natameme kami doon. Parang silence.
Oo, di ba? Naman, walang magkasabi sa akin ng ganyan.
How about you, Sarah?
Never
What
naman
scares
nangyari
you
sa'yo, Ate
when it
Jess.
comes to love?
For me, I would say before losing the love, losing somebody is more. Not in terms of separating with you, because I think you should be like strong enough to see, okay, your value in that relationship, and if the other person doesn't see your value in that relationship anymore, and he's happier with somebody else or happier without you in your life, I think that's also love for that person to let go.
Mm-hmm.
For me, before my real dad died, I have to say, to lose somebody like physically, na hindi na siya dito.
That's right.
I learned to cope with it and to understand that life is limited here in our earth. Just enjoy each and every moment with these specific individuals that you love in your life. And I wanted to share before rin yung parang it doesn't have to be always the love or the relationship is that you don't have to be always physically with each other, communicating with each other. Kasi yung love for my friendships also, I don't always communicate with them every day. As you said before, di ba? But when you communicate, you share your love through that communication, through that energy that you give time into. Yun.
Okay. Now, how about you, Jubail? What scares you most about love?
Me. Okay.
Ghosting?
The ghost.
Ghosting.
We talked about that ghosting. Okay, that's another thing.
Someone
Well,
anymore.
I'm not scared of being ghosted because I thrice, experienced being ghosted by someone.
And parang
Anyway.
case against that person now. If the case is if the law is approved.
Sorry?
Kasi sa Philippines, someone filed a bill, diba?
Yeah.
Legitimizing that.
Emotional distress, di ba?
That's an emotional distress.
Mental stress. So
anyway.
it becomes a law. Anyway, so what scares you about love?
Um,
What's one thing that scares you about love?
I think also losing the love,
Okay.
losing not the love like because I believe that love is free, no, but losing the love sa self mo in the process while loving the person. Kasi I
Alright.
have a tendency kasi to lose myself in the process, and oh my God, anyway. So hopeless romantic kasi ako before. So
Now
um
hindi na.
kakabalik ko lang. Kumbaga few years pa lang itong itong loving self in the process, no, and still a work in progress. So yun losing myself again. Ayoko maging dependent ulit dun sa tao na if the person disappears, then you'll be broken as hell, as you know.
Close na naman
It,
kasi
oo.
magdi-disappear siya.
Tapos you would kuha naman rock bottom na naman and all that. Parang kasi ganoon, 'di ba? Pag nawala yung tao, nawala yung love and everything, and you'll be broken, 'di ba? So it's hard to bring the pieces back na naman and all, and I don't want to like go through that process. So yun.
So which do you agree with? Love should always feel comfortable, or love should always feel new and exciting? How about you, Sarah?
My first thought was comfortable. Kasi at the end of the day, you decide to be in love for the long term. Kasi we always see love for a long-term relationship, especially si Madam Jessica naman dyan ang testimonial about
Baka malay mo, iba piliin ni Jess.
yeah, for me, it's comfortable. Kasi at the end of the
Comfortable.
day, it's yung
Oo.
long term. But I have to say with my
Only one. You have to pick only one. Comfortable ka. How about you, Jessica? What's your choice? Comfortable or love should always feel new and exciting?
Yung second.
New and exciting! Ba't ganun? We're so old.
Ano ba yan?
Ayaw na natin ng comfortable. Ganun. Bakit, Jess? Sige, sabihin mo.
Kasi di ba? Yung comfortable, eh, parang ano na lang kayo, magkapatid na lang kayong dalawa. Naman. Di ba? Kasi,
Parang pre, bakit naman dyan?
dapat merong nalala mo yon Maria, no? Nalala mo yung ating promo tungkol dun sa sausages, di ba? Yung mga ganyan na bagay. Okay, I will not say anything anymore.
Ayoko na. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. How about you, Gail?
Kidding
What do
aside,
you want? Comfortable or love should always feel new and exciting?
Ayaw mo naman ng both kasi I would want to like have the comfortable
pwede,
one and the
wala.
exciting. Siguro
kaya mo naman mag-spice up while being comfortable.
no, but I think I would want to have also the second one, the new and exciting, because we've been with the comfortable. We know how it feels, di ba? Pero sometimes, sometimes there's fun in the adventure kasi there's fun and excitement in the new, 'di ba? In the things na hindi mo alam. Tapos meron ka dong para sa akin something like parang meron akong laging ganyan na I want to want the unknown kasi parang there's fun in there. There's journey na you don't know, and it's like you're scared but you want that. Parang ganun ba?
Parang ako dito age to, Sarah. Pag yung comfort stage namin tapos na.
Oh, that's it. Because we have that comfort stage, I think
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what do you think makes
So we want to explore.
people fall out of love? Jubel,
Again, sorry.
what do you
Bakit ako?
think makes people fall out of love?
Uy,
Fall out of love?
yung pag comfortable, di ba?
Ikaw, Jubel, ano?
Ako muna. Makes me fall out of love if ni-invade yung disrespect. Ni-invade yung space ko. Kasi it really matters sa akin. Like, knowing me, it's my personality. I cannot get rid of this part of me. It's like really me. So, pag ni-invade yung space ko, tapos in-impose niya yung gusto niya on me, that really would be, I could compromise. But yung too much of that, I think would, yung disrespect, actually, the disrespect talaga. In all, you know the story. So,
Yeah. Kwento natin. Then, Jessica, how about you?
What about me?
About you, what do you think makes people fall out of love? Kunwari ikaw, si Park Hyun-joo, ganun.
Ang celebrity crush ba yan?
So what do you think, Gus?
celebrity.
Kahit isa lang, what do you think would make you fall out of love?
Pareho nung kay Jubel, yung disrespectful. Pag hindi ka na nire-respeto nung tao mahal mo, unti-unti na yan. Parang hindi na kayo nagkakasundo talaga. At saka yung masyadong comfortable.
Only kind of relationship na love, not between your partner. It's also from your friends, so...
Oo, tama.
Same lang din ba?
The same din. Kasi kung hindi... kasi kilala mo naman ako, hindi ako masyadong pala diskusyon. Parang gano'n, no? Kung ano yung pag-usapan natin, okay na tayo. Alam mo, nagkaroon tayo ng problema. Pag na-solve na yon, tapos na. Hindi na kailangan ulit-ulitin pa.
Yeah.
Pero pag ulit-ulitin pa rin sa akin yung problema sa partner o kaya sa friends, maigi na sigurong wala na lang komunikasyon sa ating dalawa. Parang gano'n. At saka siyempre, second. Pwede bang second?
Okay, second.
Yung pagiging comfortable sa partner, no? Kung walang spice, no, Jobel, di ba? Pag walang spice, lalo sa mga age natin,
Oh my God.
parang kulang na kulang. Parang magiging boring na yung relasyon yung dalawa. Hirap din.
I'd say.
Sarah.
Ako?
Yeah, ikaw, syempre. Hindi, si Jubel.
Ikaw,
So
Sarah,
what do
ikaw.
you think will make you fall out of love? From your friends or from your partner, from whoever
For
that you
me,
know?
it's trust. Yun ang
Trust.
sa akin.
Dapat gumagamit ka ng trust. Anong size? Ano ba trust na yun? Okay, go.
Hirap mo yung trust sa tao.
Okay.
Especially if you're in a getting to know phase.
Stage.
Pinaghirapan mo magbigay ng trust and then pag ngunala, ang hirap rin, like,
Ibalik.
you broke and it's not the same anymore. So there's always like something in the back of your mind that reminds you that the trust is not like stable and complete anymore. So yun yung sa akin, trust is very, very important for me in any kind of relationship I have, especially also even in terms of career-wise.
So, Sarah, in connection with that, when it comes to cheating, forgive and forget, forgive but don't forget, or don't forgive at all.
Ang sakit na hati naman. Bakit mo?
3 choices lang yun. Forgive and forget, forgive but don't forget, or don't forgive at all.
Number 2.
Forgive but don't forget. Oh, forgive mo pa. Wow.
Yung tao, ate, at especially if you already built a foundation of a relationship and it's just a one-time thing, kaya ko pa i-forgive, but you don't forget it. So, kailangan niya, pag siya nag-cheat at may mali ang ginawa niya, kailangan niya paghirapan yung relationship na yon.
Okay, how about you, Jubel? Forgive and forget? Forgive but don't forget, or don't forgive at all?
Number 2 din. Kasi,
Ifo-forgive mo rin siya?
I've forgiven the person over and over. Yun nga, di ba?
Ah,
But of course, hindi na, it's my kwan na hindi i-forget para maging, ano mo yun. Kasi if uulitin na naman, then katangahan na talaga yun if you would really stay with the
one time
person,
lang din
di ba?
sa inyo, like Sarah. Pero over and over sa'yo eh. Never mind. Okay. How about you, Jessica? Forgive and forget? Forgive but don't forget?
Some
Or don't
experience.
forget?
Salamat naman, siguro hindi pa nangyayari.
Pag nangyari, one time.
Pag nangyari yon, forgive and forget him na lang. Gano'n na lang.
Ooh.
Wala namang choice na yun, ha? No.
Kahit matagal na kayo, as in 30 years na
Oo.
kasal.
31 to be exact. Oo. Hirap din kasi kailangan siguro magandang reason. Ano
Tama.
nga bang reason? Tsaka ang palaging ang sinasabi ko diyan, it takes two to tango, 'di ba? Kahit anong sabihin nung nasa yung kabilang party may kasalanan, yung third party may kasalanan, kung yung sa'yo, yung partner mo nakisali din, ibig sabihin pareho silang may kasalanan, hindi lang yung isa. So, kaya talagang forgive and forget him. 'Di ba?
Yes.
Yun ang aking prinsipyo. Yan, alam niya rin naman 'yon.
Okay, so my final question, sobrang 1 hour na tayo.
Ay,
What
ganun.
is the craziest thing that you would do for love? Miss Jessica, ikaw na.
What?
Alam mo yan, pupunta tayo sa Korea, ganun, parang ganyan.
Hindi yan craziest thing.
Hindi mo ba craziest yun? Okay.
Hindi pa yan craziest.
So what do you think is the craziest thing that you would do for love?
Ay, yung matyaga akong magsusundo palagi kung halimbawa kung nasan man siya.
Parang ginagawa mo naman yan eh, pilate.
Kaya nga, kahit naman saan, kita mo na crazy yun. Diba? Who's doing that? Nobody.
No one else. Exactly. That's right. So bravo sa iyo, Miss Jessica. Woo! Okay, how about you, Sarah? What's the craziest thing that you would do for love?
Sa local ito, marami.
Ano?
Kasi di ba pinag-usapan natin long distance relationship?
Yeah.
Pwede ka masabi dyan.
That's one of example na pupuntahan ko yung tao kahit saan man siya sa mundo just to surprise him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Naman. So thank you, Sarah. How about you, Jubel? What's the craziest thing you would do for love?
I think I would do the same, not minding, yung pupuntahan mo yung tao, not minding magkano yung airplane ticket, magkano yung, or surprising the person with whatever na, not minding people and not minding expenses, not minding, I know, a lot of things. Yeah.
Like
Okay.
worldly stuff.
Me kaya, what's the crazy thing you would do?
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't done crazy stuff yet so far.
Okay. So me, I think craziest would be selling my kidney, ganun. For love, grabe. I need to sell my kidney for love na talaga, grabe. Desperate move. Anyway,
Oh, there's one pala. Sorry, I forgot to
what's the
mention.
one thing? Okay,
I lost
go.
money for that, diba? Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I lost money.
That's a
No.
next episode naman. How Jubilee lost her money for love.
Why?
Grabe.
Just-
We're not talking about hundreds of
You were,
pesos.
yeah.
We're talking about
No.
millions.
It's okay now.
Grabe
Next.
pa talaga. Anyway, thank you guys for being with us today here on TalkAlley. I hope all the listeners and the viewers enjoyed this episode today. We talked about modern love, and I hope that you learned from each of these guests that I have here, who are my bestest friends also. And I thank them for being in my circle, and I love them so much every day. I love you guys. So thank you for being with us and Talk Ali. And I hope to see you again, everybody, on our next episode. So have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.